You just found out that your partner cheated on you. And what do you need to know right in this moment? And so, my name is Dan Gummo, working with Relate and Relationship Champions. I'm here with Stephen Dromgold, relationship counselor and counselor educator. And so, Stephen, what do a person need to know right now?
Probably so many things. And the reason we put this short course together is that you are in turmoil of many different kinds of turmoil. Some of you may feel angry, some of you may feel devastated, some of you may feel numb, like you're watching this whole thing sort of like it's happening to someone else. And so there are a number of really critical pieces that need to come together, that in many cases need to come together very quickly. And the challenge can be like, where do you actually get the help that you need? And how do you kind of manage, if you're juggling kids, if you're juggling the relationship, if you don't know if you want to stay or go, if you're looking for reassurance and the person you want to be reassured by is the person who's betrayed you, like it's a really, really crappy situation. And so the first thing that I would invite you to do is just stop for a moment and take a breath, because your
Mm.
whole body is wired towards a fight flight reaction, which will trigger the anger, the sadness, the numbness, lots of different reactivities. All of those are completely normal. People respond in different ways because we are wired differently in terms of that. The reason why we're making this course is that we know that in between the discovery and actually getting to see a therapist or getting to some help, there's often a delay of a few days, a couple of weeks, sometimes a couple of months.
Mhm.
And during that time, it's pretty common for people in their distress to do things that will make things worse. So, for instance, it's very common that people will move into an interrogation game or strategy with their partner. And their partner is torn, if they want the relationship to continue, and sometimes even if they don't, between trying to minimize or justify or defend themselves, and to continue the gaslighting and the lying, to protect themselves, but also often to protect the partner, because they don't, they're trying to, they see your huge distress and they're trying to minimize it. And so then that interrogation game sets up a continued pattern of more lies, more deceit, or hearing stuff what you really do not need to hear and what you
Mm.
can't unhear, which you then have to carry for the rest of your life. That's a pretty obvious example of something that's there.
So,
Um,
Stephen, what you're saying is that often couples they try to make the situation better. And then by asking questions, and then the other partner who cheated actually trying to help, they're actually creating this cycle that makes things worse and worse.
yeah, yeah. And again, because for most people this may be the first, this is commonly the first time, or maybe it has happened before, and so now you've got this problem plus the memories of whatever happened the last time. And so it's just a really challenging situation. And so what we're putting together is just a short a course which is really going to focus a number of key topics to kind of help hold you until you can get into some support with someone who can help guide you through fixing the particular issues that have occurred in your relationship.
So the idea is to get through this entire series of short videos so that way you're prepared to do the best for yourself and your family going forward.
Absolutely. And so we've set them up with some, they're designed to be quite short because you're probably struggling with concentration issues. So you're not going to
Hmm.
be able to this for a long time. You can watch them all in one block. They're designed in that way. And then what you can do is probably just watch them a couple of more times just over the first week, just pick one a day and just focus on that particular thing. And yeah, this is really kind of our gift to you to try and help sort of set you up so that when you end up in front of someone or you find someone that is a safe place for you to talk, you haven't added additional problems into an already difficult situation.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. And to be sure, there's nothing in my life experience than the crazy making of a moment that you feel like a relationship is just about to end.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've worked with relationships for over 20 years. I've spent about the last 13 or 14 of those years really specializing in infidelity as an issue that I work with. And yeah, it's the pain is different for every person. The challenges are different for every person. But it's very normal that most people would think of this as one of the most difficult and most traumatic experiences that they have in their life. So the distress you feel is real, the challenges you're facing are real, and but the thing that I want you to know is that it is possible to get through this, and it is possible that that your world will right itself, even though that may seem really impossible at this point in time.